Hey everybody, it's Taylor from Damsel and today I am taking So Loud, aka Robin's quarantined costumer 20 questions challenge or something along those lines. I kind of wanted to dress up for this and wear one of my historical costumes, but I am no longer at my studio. This is my basement and it's where I have built a small little semi-mobile Damsel studio so I can keep working and making jewelry, but it means that all of my sewing supplies and my costumes and everything are back at my studio. And in case you're watching this not anytime soon, it's because we're all quarantined right now because of coronavirus. So I'm no longer working in my studio, I'm working at home instead. So you just get regular Taylor with no costumes because I don't have anything here. I have nothing here to dress up in. It's very disappointing, I know. All right, question number one, what was your first costume? My very first costume I ever made was an 18th century short gown and petticoat and hat that I wore to a reenactment in Williamsburg, Virginia. It was under the redcoat back when they used to do that. And I was just starting out and I hand sewed everything because I didn't have a sewing machine. And it wasn't actually all that terrible. So I was really lucky that I had some reenactor mentors when I started out who kind of put me on the right path to costuming early. So it was not the worst thing that could have been made for sure. I will share a photo of it. It's still a little bit embarrassing, but oh God, look how young. Oh, you sweet summer child. Anyway, so that was the very first thing that I ever made. What is your favorite costume that you've made, or what costume are you the most proud of? I think probably it's my yellow Française gown, which I made 2 years ago now. And the reason it's my favorite and the one that I'm most proud of is because I tried to make a Française gown once, like 10 years ago or something, and it was not a great experience. And in fact, I've since taken that Française gown apart and turned it into something new. And there's like a whole video series I've done about that whole process. But the second one that I made actually went together really well. It was pretty easy and I'm incredibly happy with the result. And the reason I'm so proud of it is because it shows that I actually have learned in 10 years and now I kind of know a little bit about what I'm doing. It was reassuring to me to know that all this work that I've done over the years actually has resulted in an increase in my skill level. So I was pretty pleased with that. And plus I just really like wearing it. I mean, it's so glamorous and beautiful. Like, how can you not love a Française gown? What costume do you dream of making? Currently, what I am obsessed with is making a 14th century Burgundian gown. I have no reason to make this. I have nowhere to wear it to. It's totally different from anything I've done, but I just really want one. I just think they look amazing. They're super cool. They're really glamorous, and I just think it would be a fun project. What is a sewing task that you love versus a sewing task that you hate? I love making eyelets. That is my favorite thing to do. I love making hand-sewn eyelets on stays or lacing strips for gowns. I'm fast, I'm accurate. It's one of the only sewing things that I do really well. So that's definitely my favorite thing to make. And a sewing task that I hate is making mock-ups. God, I hate that. I hate making them. I hate doing any work on something that you know you're just gonna tear up. It's such a critical part of making a nicely fitted costume that looks good, but I really, really hate doing it. Oh, my screen went black. Okay, would you rather sew wool or silk? Personally, silk. I haven't worked with wool all that much. Everybody says that it's like very forgiving and blah, 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 but I don't like working with it. It's always like springy and bouncy, which I feel difficult. Whereas silk, you can iron it into place and it stays where you want it to go. So that is definitely my favorite thing to sew with. The vast majority of my gowns have been silk. I do have a few pieces of beautiful wool in my sewing stash that I do want to turn into dresses sometime, hopefully soon-ish, but I usually tend to be drawn towards silk. Would you rather go to a themed event or a pick-your-own theme event? This one is so hard for me to choose because I really love going to open-ended events because the variety that you can see from costumers is so incredible. People just come up with the most creative things. I especially love when there's like a color, you know, it's just something like wear red, and then you can see what everybody does in different shades of red and styles. But I think if I had to pick one, I would probably say a themed event, just because I love that immersive nature that you get when you look around and everybody looks like you and everybody's in one sort of period. It feels so intimate and true when you do that. Would you rather attend a big ball or an intimate dinner? For me, definitely a small dinner. Some of my all-time favorite events I've ever been to have been like tiny dinner parties with like 5 or 8 people. I'm very introverted. I really value being able to spend like quality time with a few friends rather than just oh hi, oh my god, how are you, with like lots and lots of people. I mean, certainly big events can be really fun. You get to see so many people, you get a huge variety, but these days I'm really desperately craving like a nice quiet dinner with some friends. Do you prefer to machine sew or hand sew? I personally am a hand sewer, probably because I just have a lot more experience hand sewing than sewing with a machine, and I find machines to be a little bit intimidating and something that I can't control as easily, whereas when I'm hand sewing I know that I have the control over every stitch, even though it takes so much longer, I know. And I certainly do use sewing machines on almost all of my costumes. All of like the long seams and stuff are usually done by machine, but if somebody said, you know, you could only sew with one of these things for the rest of your life, it would definitely be hand sewing. Do you like wigs, hair pieces, or your own hair? I personally am a big proponent of hair pieces, even though I have my own hair, which is like the hair of a feral forest witch. Wait, that's like an evil wizard. Yes. I would still use a hairpiece. It's annoying to style your own hair. It takes forever. It often doesn't turn out the way you want it to, and it's so much easier to just buy the things that you need and just plunk them in your hair when you need them. It takes like 4 minutes. So 95% of the time you see me in costume, I'm probably wearing some type of hairpiece or some sort of enhancement to my regular hair. And I get them all from JennylaFleur. She's amazing. She does great ones. I've actually never worn a full wig because I have so much hair. It makes it very hard to like get anything close fitted to my head. I can't make this not be big hair. So I've never worn a full wig, but I really love the versatility of hair pieces and how easy they are. So I am team hairpiece all the way. Name 5 small businesses that you love for costume things. Well, as a small business owner, thank you, Robin, for asking this question. It's always nice to hear what people like. 5 small businesses that you will usually see in every costume I'm wearing are Red Threaded for my corsetry. She has made most of my undergarments or most of my corsets, or given me the pattern for the corset that I use. JennylaFleur, who I mentioned, who does all of my hair pieces. Willoughby and Rose, who makes a lot of my shifts and things like my pocket hoops. She does beautiful work, and I really despise making shifts, so it's really nice to have somebody that I can use for that. Timely Tresses, who makes really beautiful bonnets, especially for the 1860s, although she makes a lot of other things too. But she has the most wonderful supplies for millinery for sale, like beautiful feathers, flowers. Most of my fabric flowers that you see in my costumes are from her. Ribbons, just anything you need for millinery, really beautiful. And then Shocking Bad Hats, who makes most of the Regency bonnets that you see me wear. I actually really love to make hats and bonnets, but it's just something that I don't often have time to do, and they're really excellent hat makers and bonnet makers, so most of the ones you see that I wear have come from one of those 2 sources. What is your favorite color? Well, for costuming, it is definitely yellow. Yellow, 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 yellow. I want a yellow dress in every period. I love making them. I've got a lot of yellow fabric sitting in my stash ready to be turned into dresses, and I got a lot of ideas up in his head for more yellow things. Yellow! Name 5 YouTubers we should all check out. First, I'll say So Loud, or Robin, who's the one who came up with this idea in the first place, so I love her. She's a lovely person, makes great, very funny videos. Gilded Garb, who is just brand new to Instagram. Can't wait to see what she is going to create. JennylaFleur, who is the one who makes my hair pieces and is one of my dearest friends as well. She makes really great tutorial videos, which are super helpful. American Duchess, who has a lot of really great tutorials and information about their shoes and their beautiful things that they do, and Costuming Drama, who is one of my favorite YouTubers just because she's so chatty and happy, and I just really enjoy watching her YouTube videos as well. Pearls or sparkles? Pearls or sparkles? Robin, this question, you're killing me. How can you ask me to choose? I'm not going to. I refuse on personal religious grounds that I cannot choose between pearls and sparkles because I love them both equally. They're like my children. So I am pro pearl, I am pro sparkle, I am pro wearing all of them at the same time. There we go. Now I'm feeling a bit more like myself. Yeah, you know, I'll just throw in everything all at once. No problem. That looks super good. Okay. What is a costume trip you have dreamt of taking? Oh, this one is almost challenging to put words to because my dream costume trip is planned for this August. So I'm really nervous that it's not going to happen. We're planning on going to Prince Edward Island and doing a full week like in Anne of Green Gables Edwardian clothing. And it's what I wanted to do since I was like 8 years old and read Anne of Green Gables for the first time, and I've never lost that dream. So I'm just hoping against all hope that this all clears up and that I can go to Canada in August and have my dream costuming trip. Because if I don't know what I'm gonna do. Hold on, my cat is. No, bunny. No, no, no. What is your favorite cocktail? I really enjoy punches of all sorts of varieties, like champagne punch and Regent's punch and Roman punch and any kind of like combination of booze and juice or tea or something like that. I think they're really exciting. They're always delicious every time I have them. And you can often drink out of like a big giant punch bowl, which I really enjoy as well. It's always fun. Who is a costumer you would love to meet? I've already mentioned her before, but I would really like to meet Noelle from Costuming Drama. She lives way out on the West Coast, so I have not had the opportunity to meet her, especially because I haven't been to costume college in a little while. But she seems like she's super fun and down to earth, and I just would really enjoy meeting her. So, hi Noelle, let's be friends in real life. Okay. Plain or patterned fabric? Up until very recently, I was a plain fabric girl all the way, but I really have started loving using patterned fabric, florals and all sorts of things. I've always liked stripes, but I really like sort of wacky patterns now, so that's something I'd like to do a little bit more of as my costuming progresses. Use a pattern or make your own. I'm definitely a little bit of both here. For anything like earlier than 1840s, I'm basically a make your own because I have a lot more experience with the shapes of those styles in that period, so I can usually whip something up pretty easily. But stuff that's later than that, I'm definitely a use a pattern girl because the shapes get very different as you get into the Victorian period and then the Edwardian period. So I've started using patterns a lot more for the later stuff that I do. What is your favorite era to wear and your favorite era to make? I love to wear 1780s. I love the silhouette. I love the big giant hair. It's a period I feel really comfortable in. It's something I've done so much that I can like put a look together pretty easily without stressing about the details and stuff like that. So I really, really love to wear 1780s. And a period I like to make is actually my recent foray into Italian Renaissance when I made my 1490s Venetian gown. Was some of the most fun I have had making a costume in a decade probably. I really loved making this dress, and bonus, it was really fun to wear to boot. So I really, really enjoy this period. I would love an opportunity to do it more and explore it a little bit more. It's something that's really exciting for me right now. So I think I'm gonna say 1490s Italian Renaissance, maybe all Italian Renaissance. There's room for everyone. What is one thing we don't know about you? I grew up in Alabama. I am from Alabama. I went to school there. My family still lives there, and I lived there until I was 21. So I have a Alabama roots at my heart. And if I have been drinking or talking to my family, my Southern accent comes out really strongly. So I usually can mask it pretty easily, but sometimes it slips up. And I still say y'all all the time. So that's it. I guess I'm a Southerner. Maybe you don't know that because now I live in Washington, D.C. Also, this cup has wine in it. I guess that's something you know now. Thank you to So Loud for hosting this really fun program. If you have made one of these on your own channel, please link to it down below because I'd love to watch it. It's such a great opportunity to get to know lots of other costumers, and I know a lot of people are starting up new YouTubes with this questionnaire. So check out So Loud's post if you want more details on the questions, and I hope you make your own. Thanks so much. Bye. Be a baby. Be a baby, Liddy. Let me see her pretty face. There's my sweet girl. What's the wibs?